So I'm going to be doing a music review today. I'm going to be reviewing an album that I recently listened to again that I haven't listened to in a very long time, and that is the U2 album All That You Can't Leave Behind. So this album released in 2000, and quite recently in 2020 it was there was a re-release for its 20th anniversary. There were a few new tracks on the album. There were a few kind of like remastered tracks, remix tracks, kind of like acoustic versions and stuff like that. But I have listened to this album a lot, and I do have a lot of like fond memories of like listening to this as like a young kid, and I kind of just wanted to share my thoughts about it. So I'm actually not really that familiar with anything earlier than this when it comes for like U2. I haven't really explored like their stuff from like the 80s and 90s. I could probably technically call this a 90s album, even though it came out in 2000, because it does really have that that real late 90s kind of like rock ballad feel to it. It also has some really good electronic work in some of the songs, some really good synth work, a few instruments that I don't really recognise. So anyway, my four favourite tracks on this album is Beautiful Day, Elevation, Stuck in a Moment, which is actually the first three tracks on the song, and the closing song, The Ground Beneath Their Feet. Now, I don't really have like anything against all the songs in like between. I mean, they're all fine songs, but these four really stand out to me over the rest of it. So Beautiful Day, I feel like needs no introduction. It's quite possibly U2's biggest hit of all time. This song was played everywhere in 2000, 2001, and is even heard on the radio pretty recently today. It's basically just a song about living in the moment, enjoying the beauty of being alive. It's really about mindfulness more than anything else, and that's a really good message for a song. There are not very many songs I can think of which just talk about such a universal topic of just enjoying the present moment. Most songs are about like love, loss, other things. It is a unique song, and the following song is also unique. It's called Stuck in a Moment, a song about being stuck, basically, not knowing how to move on or let go of things, which is pretty relatable for a lot of people, myself included. Now, this is what I'm going to talk about, how there are several instruments in this album that I don't really know the origin of. I know like there are sound production studios, things that you can download on like your computer, but this song kind of has like this droplet sound effect that's played at certain notes. Almost sounds like a radar bleep in like a submarine or something. And it's not just this song that does it too. Elevation also uses the same sound font, but in a different way in its opening riff, and it kind of like makes you feel like you're in like a dank cave or like a deep car park or something. I don't know, or like a submarine. That's kind of what I thought about when I heard this sound. But anyway, Stuck in a Moment, great song, incredible lyrics for this song, very meaningful, very powerful. Then it's followed by the third song, Elevation, which is kind of like the rock hit of this album. It's basically just this euphoric rock song that really that's supposed to like elevate your mood, which is the title of the song. And there are a bunch of other songs that I'll quickly gloss over. So there's Walk On, which is also a pretty decent song as well. There's Kite, which is about uncertainty, I guess. I don't know which way the wind will blow, things like that. There's In a Little While, Wild Honey, which is alright. I think it's one of the weaker songs of the album. But overall, this album does go on for a while. I think it goes for about 80 minutes. There is quite a lot of stuff packed into this album. So I should probably talk about the Ground Beneath Her Feet, because it is one of my favourite songs on this entire album, and it's kind of like otherworldly compared to the rest of the tracks. It kind of has like this theremin instrument in it, which kind of sounds like it's almost like alien. But of course, the song I mean, it's like a love song. It's about a girl that Bono like can't get his mind off that he's worshipping apparently. It's a very surreal song. It's a very serenading song. It also sounds a tiny bit unsettling as well. I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm just talking about like the sound work of the song. But it's like unsettlingly relaxing, which is probably the best way to describe this track. As I said, no real bad songs on this album. I mean, there are weak tracks, that's for sure, but there really isn't any track on this album which I disliked. Also, one final note, I actually really like the cover artwork for this album. It's a picture. It's a black and white picture of the U2 the band seemingly lost in Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is the Paris airport, and like the airport is famous for like looking really like futuristic, like kind of like these archways and a lot of concrete work. It looks almost like something out of like a sci-fi movie, and looks really open and expansive. Also a little bit desolate. I haven't actually been to the airport, but like I've seen pictures of it, and it is a very nice looking airport. And I think that kind of really, I really like how fitting this cover artwork is. I mean, like, it's completely random, which is pretty much most musical album artworks, to be honest. But like, the thing I like about U2 music, especially in this one, it just feels like the songs are made to be like played in like just this open expanse, and like it's just really outreaching sound and really expansive sound, really open, and I can see why people love seeing U2 at the stadium. I haven't had that experience. I mean, I've seen concerts, but I've never seen U2 before. But I think that's something that's kind of like a trademark of their music. Very the songs are like very deep in thought, emotionally deep as well, which is probably another appeal of this band. But anyway, I do really like this album. I know it's an old album. I do like reviewing more recent albums, but I do like every now and then, you know, going back to the past and talking about something that I've known for a really long time. But anyway, that's my opinion of All That You Can't Leave Behind. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. A very, very good album. Definitely listen to it if you haven't already. Anyway, as always, thanks for supporting the channel. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.